Kimmay. Grab a smoothie or a mug of tea and cuddle up. It's time for some girl talk. I've got Crystal Cave from XO Crystal Cave here with me today, well, via Google Hangouts in sunny California. And we're going to talk about why she prefers the term not so skinny instead of plus size. You'll also get the scoop on her upcoming style school, including one of her guest contributors, yours truly, and how she went from styling pop stars like Taylor Swift to you, right here coming up on Hurray Kimmay TV. Crystal, thank you so much for being on air with me today.
Thank you, hooray!
So you are missing Snowmageddon 2015. I'm here in New York City where we didn't get as much snow as we had anticipated, but it's pretty bad out there. And you are in California, is that right?
Yes, I'm in Los Angeles right now. It's my California week, apparently. My old home of Los Angeles.
That's pretty awesome. I'm a little jealous, I'm not going to lie.
I always seem to miss these really bad storms. Like I even was out here working when Sandy hit. So somehow I luck out. It's like when I go to LA, it's like, oh, big nor'easter, like dramatic issues with like weather. I don't know what this is.
Really lucky, so good for you.
Yeah, I've lucked out with this.
Come back to New York pretty soon.
Yes, I will be back in less than a week.
Good. And you have lots of exciting things happening in a couple of weeks. So we've got your Not So Skinny Style School, which I'm really excited for. You have a bunch of awesome experts that are helping you, including myself. Yep. And you yourself are teaching women how to dress and how to have style. But before we get into the specifics of the program, can you please explain this awesome name to me?
Yes, what Not So Skinny is. So it's interesting because when I decided to really like focus on my like real zone of genius, which is double-digit size women, I was working with a business coach and I approached her and I was like, I don't like saying plus size. Like it makes me not want to do my business because I get really triggered around this word. And I had done all this work around loving my body and everything like a few years prior, and I was like, why do I still have this issue with this word? And so we're like, well, why don't we invent a word, basically? So after some brainstorming with a bunch of my like mastermind sisters, we came up with the phrase not so skinny, which I've now submitted for a trademark, so it's like my own phrase. And I mean, really what it was plus size is always considered a size 14 and up, and the skills I teach, I mean, can really be applied to most women in general, but they're specifically tailored for women who are size 10 and up. So women who are size 10 are not necessarily going to consider themselves plus size, and then women who are size 16, 18, 20, what have you, I've talked to many of them, and I know also from my own experience, don't really like the word plus size. It has a weird connotation, so we are kind of all just embracing this not so skinny life, if you have it. So.
I actually love that. You know, I work in the lingerie business, and I work with a lot of, we have so many words for it now, like full busted, full figured, curvy, whatever, and I think a lot of people are shying away from the word plus size, and I think women in brands are realizing that women's shapes are not just defined by like you're either a thin person or a plus size person, and there's lots of gray area in between for you as like a woman and what you are. And you actually answered one of my thoughts. You know, like I was going through your program offerings, and I was like, I want to know some of this, and like I'm not a size 10 or more, you know, and I feel like a lot of the principles that you're teaching are definitely applicable to so many different kinds of women, but it definitely embraces the woman who is a size 10 and up, so I think that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, we're talking about this great program. What is it? Like, what's included? What can people expect?
Yeah. So Not So Skinny Style School is an 8-week online program, and I'm basically taking all these women through the A to Z's of styling themselves, from styling inspiration to editing out your closet, organizing it, going into a store, and the unit's actually called like, and how to not have a nervous breakdown in the shopping room, and like in the, and like, I mean, how many times have you gone in, or like have many women gone in to the dressing room and like had a complete nervous breakdown? So it's really about combining all of these skills with a lot of the like body confidence work that I've also done myself that I give to my clients. So we're also integrating into that, and you're going to be coming in as one of the guest experts teaching about the amazing like part of actually like the foundational pieces and the body confidence aspect that goes along with that. And we also have Style School Homeroom, which will be our online community. And we actually started our own community for free during the Instagram challenge we just had called the Not So Skinny Style Community on Facebook. And it's been amazing to just see all these women open up and post pictures and just really be vulnerable. So I'm really looking forward to having this community support all throughout the 8 weeks and for life, because there is lifetime access in this program.
Awesome.
And I'm like super excited to have them just grow and bond with each other. So not only am I like as the quote unquote expert, shall we, in there helping the women, but they also are now getting the skills where they can help and support one another. So it's like no longer will you be in a dressing room by yourself. You can take a picture and all these women will be right on the other side of your phone ready to cheer you on. And in addition to that, we're also going to do some Google Hangout weekly calls. So I get to style people live on the air, and I'm really excited for that because technology and like video conferencing is one of these amazing ways I've been able to work with people virtually, and now I'll be able to do that in a group setting. So I'm so excited that's like one of the things I'm actually most excited besides having you and all the other guest mentors, because I feel like it's a really great way for us to all come together like in person and really like support and grow together in the program.
Awesome.
And we also have like a journal that will be going with all the weekly videos that come out. So you'll be able to do them digitally, and like I really see the Style School Homeroom community as like the hub of really like sharing and celebrating with everyone. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's
but
so
it's
much.
like manageable.
It's so
yeah. There's a lot, but like it's very comprehensive to support the growth.
Yes. Awesome. So, you spoke about these guest experts that you have coming in, and there's a bunch, and like I said, myself included. So I will be sharing some great tips on how to tell if your bra fits and how I feel that affects a woman's confidence and her overall like image of her body. You and I talked before about how many naked women I've seen and how I see that struggle in the fitting room from foundations up about how they treat their bodies and how they talk about their bodies, how they dress their bodies, and how important a bra can make. But tell me in your own words, why do you feel like undergarments are important to your style?
Yeah, well, we actually met because I posted something in an entrepreneur community that we're in, B School, and I was very clear that I wanted someone to help with foundational pieces because that's not my expertise. But I know how important having the girls lifted really actually just helps your entire stature and how you carry yourself. Not only is that important to like literally lift yourself up, but it actually affects everything. Like if you have an uncomfortable bra, you're going to be going through the day feeling like crap. And if it doesn't fit, like I know this for myself, like we actually, when we first met in person, we're talking about this, like I have had bras where it's like they're jabbing me in the side and I can't focus and it's not comfortable. And if you're really uncomfortable, like from the foundation pieces, your outer outfit is not going to look good and you're not going to help your inner light shine at all. So that's really why I feel so strongly about it. I mean, we could probably talk for an hour just why I feel like knowing how to find the right bra is important, but like the nuts and bolts of it is essentially what, like all that I just said. But yeah.
Amen. You are preaching to the choir. I love it. I love everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually really love this. You say, Not So Skinny Style School is about so much more than what to wear. It's the path home to who you really are and what you are here to do in the world. I love that. Can you just tell me a little bit more about what that means to you?
Yeah. Well, I'll start by talking. My friend sent me this picture a couple years ago, and it was about the fashionista archetype, like in storytelling. And it was all about how the fashionista is the one that's trying to explore and like find herself. And it was really interesting to me because at the time I was like definitely and I mean, I still am, we all are in a growth phase. We're always learning and growing. But I found that style is such an amazing way to really express yourself and find out who you are.
Yeah.
And really, it's about coming home to yourself so you feel grounded within your own body, and then you have a style that's able to express that inner light and just who you are to the rest of the world.
I love that. That is so, I'm getting like goosebumps. That's so awesome. So, one of the questions that I had originally when you and I first met too is like, how did you even get into this? Like, what has been your experience in the world of fashion and styling? So, give me a little quick bio about how you got into it.
Well, I'll give you a quick kind of Cliff Notes version. I actually went to undergrad for business, but when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a fashion designer. And because I was not so skinny, I always had this thing in my mind that I had to be thin in order to do anything in fashion. So I went to college, and I was actually one of the founding executive board members of a fashion business organization on campus. And I got involved in doing all these fashion shows, all these different events oriented around fashion. But at the time, even though I really wanted to be a stylist, I was like, I'm still like, I like advertising and like into marketing, so I'm going to continue on. And so I went to graduate school. And of course, I picked the only graduate school that had a fashion concentration. I think what sold me on Syracuse was the fact that I could do an entire class around fashion marketing for my master's.
Which, by the way, holler for upstate New York. Woo!
Yeah! I know, we have that in common. I love it. And so when I was at Syracuse, I did a photo shoot, and still I was like, I loved just really being able to brand someone through style. Like, it was an amazing combination of the two things I loved, which was fashion and marketing. But then I moved down to New York City. I got a job in advertising right out of my thesis, and I did that, and then within a few years of living in New York, was working in, I went from like children's advertising, where I actually did do a lot of like girls fashion advertising in with that. But then I was doing real estate marketing, and I was actually really good at it, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And through basically, I guess, like a series of fateful events, I ended up taking like this big leap and actually coming out to Los Angeles and going to the School of Style. And from there, things kind of took off. So I came back to New York, and they have a whole amazing like listserv. And I was able, within like a couple weeks, I was out working on jobs. So I got an amazing amount of experience. And through that, I've worked with all these major brands like Nike and Clairol, and like on the teams behind these amazing advertisements. I even did like a Mercedes Super Bowl commercial, which was super fun. I've worked on movies, and then I actually moved out to Los Angeles a couple of years ago to help with Taylor Swift's team. So that was like a big thing. And to me, it was like, oh my God, this is my dream. Like, it is branding for a pop star, and it's also like the biggest pop star on earth. So it was an amazing learning experience. But as I like worked with them and continued my time in LA, I was also doing a lot of like personal development work around healing my own body and my viewpoint of my body, and realized there was such this disconnection. Like, I was actually the person behind the women who are like the size 2, 0, 4, like the lower, smaller digit size. And they were all the ones that for years I would look at and think, okay, if I could be as thin as you, I would be so happy, my life would be perfect. And then realizing like all these models have issues too, and they hate their bodies. And what really like had kind of, I guess, I always say like it sent me over the edge. Like, I mean, I didn't walk off set, but I was working on a movie, and I saw the key stylist struggle to actually dress a plus-size woman who was a star, and she's actually like big on the Disney Channel and everything. So like she is like a very like she was a working actress. Like, she is very active out here, and it was like really painful for me to see that these stylists who should know how to dress people no matter their size was having some issues with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, in her defense, like, you can't know everything. That's the thing. But it was really sad to me to see this. And so that was around the time I started blogging at Exo Crystal Cave, just to really share my knowledge. And then it's kind of turned into this whole thing. And I was like, I really want to educate all these women, given my styling background with celebrities and big brands, and taking all that knowledge and giving it to the masses. And so that's really where Not So Skinny Style School, or Style School as I like to call it, came about. And that's where we are today. So it's been quite the journey, but I mean, it's been a fun one too. So like, isn't that the fun part of styling and entrepreneurship in general? Is it's always changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal, I just admire your energy and your authenticity so much. I mean, it's just so refreshing to see someone share such a vulnerable part of their own story, but also help these women who really need it. So bravo. Hooray for you.
Hooray.
Here's my last question.
Yeah.
In general, or about this course, whichever you want to do, what makes you say hooray in the most simplistic terms?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I always, just in general in life, I love women being yeses to themselves. And I think it's one of the most powerful things I've seen, and I honestly go hooray inside. So I just encourage all women out there to really be a yes to themselves and a desire in putting them first, because it's honestly like a little bit of an epidemic that women feel like they have to sacrifice instead of actually devoting themselves to themselves and their dreams. So.
Love it. Love, love, love it. I love you for being here. Thank you so much.
I love you too. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And we'll have a bunch more information on hurraykimmay.com right after this. Bye, Crystal. Stay nice and warm there in California.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us today. For more information, you can visit hurraykimmay.com or pop right on over to exocrystalcave.com. And don't forget to tweet at me at Hurray Kimmay and tell me what makes you say hooray. Until next time, have a great day.
Come and feast your tear-dimmed eyes on tomorrow's clear blue skies. If today your heart is